shame, so I end up drinking more rum again. The next day, the girl tell me that I had no shame, so I end up drinking more rum again. The next day, the girl tell me that I am to blame, so I end up drinking more rum again. Yeah, what is the deal? Time to crack a seal. When rum call me name, I don't have no shame. Watch me how I shameless, I dirty and reckless. Watch me how I shameless, I don't care, I reckless. Master Salim, yeah, vodka make with all who's burn out and so rock to just understand things from my view. I don't want to be a drinker, but this thing in my nature, so I went and beat more liquor. The next day, my girl tell me that I had no shame, so I end up drinking more rum again. The next day, my girl tell me that I had no shame, so I end up drinking more rum again. The next day, my girl tell me that I am to blame, so I end up drinking more rum again. 1, 2, I had a few, 3, 4, or maybe more. 5, 6, I take my licks. 7, 8, I come more late. The next day, my girl tell me that I had no shame, so I end up drinking more rum again. The next day, my girl tell me that I had no shame, so I end up drinking more rum again. The next day, my girl tell me that I am to blame, so I end up drinking more rum again. Say, what you drink more rum again? Why you drink more rum again? What you drink more rum again? Why you drink more rum again? Watch me how I shameless, I dirty and reckless. Watch me how I shameless, I don't care, I reckless. Master Salim, Robbie B and Maha, we out on the scene. Right now we the shameless, I shameless.
Oh Pritam pyare, oh Pritam pyare, oh Pritam pyare, oh Pritam pyare, oh Pritam pyare तू कहाँ बहत है, मोहे नगरिया बताएगा. ओ प्रीतम प्यारी तू कहाँ बसत है, मोहे नगरिया बताएगा. ओ प्रीतम प्यारी तू कहाँ बसत है, मोहे नगरिया बताएगा. मोहे नगरिया बताएगा, मोहे नगरिया बताएगा, मोहे नगरिया बताएगा, मोहे नगरिया बताएगा. ओ प्रीतम प्यारी तू कहाँ बसत
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is your 3 p.m. news update on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Citizens are taking jobs to transport illegal immigrants from Venezuela. This is according to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Acting Deputy Police Commissioner of Operations Jason Ford made the disclosure a short while ago. This country has recorded an additional 8 new cases of COVID-19. As a result, the number of confirmed cases is 412 thus far. This was confirmed in the latest update from the Ministry of Health this morning. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has rubbished claims that 2 ballot boxes were found at the Tunapuna Police Station. The TTPS said investigations have revealed that this is not true. Regionally, women's involvement in Dominica's agriculture sector is about to be enhanced, and internationally, the U.S. Postal Service has warned one state that its election laws might mean that millions of mail-in votes go uncounted in the November's elections. These are some of the stories making news at this time on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Look out for more of these and other stories in our major news at 4 p.m.
Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
To you, Newsday Classifieds. Take Value Optical to be your partner.
I do.
I do.
I now pronounce free eye test from Value Optical for Newsday Classified customers. Call the Newsday Classified reps for more information. You may now kiss the bride.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Good afternoon again, listeners, and welcome to Politics 2020. It's a pleasure to have you in my company on this beautiful Friday afternoon. My name is Nicole Duki, and I will be in your company all the way until 6 p.m. this afternoon. Remember, you can call me at 636-7547-227-5739. You can also WhatsApp me at 378-4975. You can view us on YouTube at RCL 975. And you can also check out our Facebook page at U97.5 Multicultural Radio. Well, there's a lot happening on the political landscape in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, you know, we have some recounts taking place in a number of constituencies across the country. Just last night, the San Fernando West seat was declared for Faris Alwari. So he is the member of parliament elect for that constituency, and we are awaiting the results of the recount of other areas, including Tunapuna, St. Joseph, La Joquita, Talparo, Toko, Sandy Grande, and I believe Toko, Sandy Grande, right? Yes. So we are, like I said, waiting on those results. There are a lot happening. The swearing-in ceremony for the new government, of course, had to be postponed as a result of the recount which were requested in those areas. Well, just to keep you updated on what would have transpired throughout the day, the police commissioner would have held a press conference a short while ago to update the nation basically on what a post-election press conference to update the nation on what would have happened and the role of the police service with regards to the election. Of course, Commissioner Griffith, he would have stated that it was relatively a smooth election for him and his officers. All officers were on the ground. They worked lengthy hours to ensure that law and order was maintained throughout the day. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service they also reported on allegations where ballot boxes were said to be found at the Tunapuna police station. Well, the TTPS said that it conducted an investigation, and the findings were that there were no ballot boxes at those stations and all were accounted for. Keeping with election news, of course, the TTPS also stated that a team has been appointed to deal with the issue where some polling cards were found in the Arima area. Those polling cards were found on Wednesday night at Motley Trace, Pinto Road, Arima, and the matter is currently being investigated, and the person who would have found the polling cards would have already given a statement to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Also coming out of today's media conference from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the police are saying that citizens are taking jobs to transport illegal immigrants from Venezuela to Trinidad. And of course, that is a cause for concern given the fact that COVID-19 is still around. We are still in a COVID-19 pandemic, and we have to still practice caution as we move about and carry about our daily activities. In some more news coming out of the Trinidad and Tobago's Police Services press conference, well, of course, many of us would have noticed in recent days there were a lot of rantings on Facebook on racism, and comments were being made by members of the public with regards to the race issue. And, well, Commissioner Griffith, he is asking citizens to calm down and to take a deep breath when it comes to these issues and the things that are being said on Facebook. People's lives are actually being threatened as a result of the comments that are being posted on social media. And moving on, another issue that the police commissioner has been speaking about for some time now is the issue of suspended officers. And he's saying today that he's willing to go to court to fight to have suspended officers fired from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And of course, he's also saying that he's willing to work with the new government and the new Minister of National Security to ensure that law and order is maintained in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, he's assuring the public that whoever holds the office of Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security would be treated with pride and dignity. While keeping on the issue of politics, the Elections and Boundaries Commission is saying that the UNC is obstructing the recount in the Tunapuna constituency. And so I'm going to read shortly a little article in today's Newsday. The United National Congress contingent walked out during the recount of the Tunapuna constituency on Wednesday evening. Defeated UNC candidate David Nackett spoke about the recount about 3 p.m. outside the Upper El Dorado Community Center, where the recount was being conducted by the Elections and Boundaries Commission. Nackett said on Tuesday votes were recounted in Tunapuna, but UNC's representatives were not present. Well, yesterday, the People's National Movement would have written to the Elections and Boundaries Commission asking that they expedite the recount process for the 2020 general election. They want to be sworn into office to start working. Of course, speaking to the media last night, after being declared the winner of the San Fernando West seat, Faris Alwari said that there are important issues that needs to be dealt with, and of course one such issue is the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so remember, friends, you can call us at 636-7547, 227-5739. You can WhatsApp us at 378-4975. You can view us on YouTube. Leave us a comment at RCL975. And you can also check out our Facebook Live at U975 Multicultural Radio. Tell us today what you feel about the recount process. Do you think it's taking too long? Are you ready for this new government to be sworn in? Do you agree that it's time? It is time that the government be sworn in. What are your thoughts? Could you share your thoughts with us? Call us in. Tell us what you think about that. So we have a call on the line. Yeah. Hello, good day.
Hello, good afternoon to the host of the program and
good afternoon.
San Trinidad and Tobago. I observed something coming down the highway into San Fernando, right? There was a truck, right? And I suspect that the guy had some dead animal carcass, and it was smelling pretty high, and he stopped to throw them out at the side of the highway. Right? I didn't stop and look to see what the guy was doing, but it was smelling. There was a bad stench, and I noticed a police vehicle was passing by, but they had their glass wind up in the air condition. And, I was trying to get the attention of the officers, but, they didn't come out to work today, so to speak. Right? They just passed by and they're going away.
And where exactly on the highway did you see that?
Okay, it's right, after the Cuba flight, the Cuba hospital,
Yes.
southbound, about 500 feet after the Cuba hospital.
And he was dumping the dead animals. That's what you're saying.
Well, I suspect so because it had a very high stench and the vehicle he practically drove in half of the vehicle into the bushes.
Okay.
Right? So, yeah, it just got me thinking, why it is the officers and them have to be driving with the glass up in air condition.
And they're supposed to be observant, and they weren't, of course, paying attention to what was taking place on the highway.
Yeah, exactly. But if these guys are not driving along the highway with the glass up, they can't smell nothing. Obviously, for me especially, if I'm driving with my glass down, to me, my senses are more, they have a better chance of being aware and activated rather than driving with my glass up going down the highway.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know, they might be blasting music in the car there. You don't know what they're doing inside that car, but, I just don't know what to say. I don't know where Trinidad and Tobago headed to. It's left to be seen. Have a good afternoon, and thanks for taking my call.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Well, before we continue, in a bit of breaking news, with some very sad news though, Trinidad and Tobago has recorded its 9th COVID death. The Ministry of Health says around 12:15 p.m., the chief medical officer was informed of the death of an elderly female with pre-existing medical condition. However, it says in a media release that it delayed the release of this information to the public until the family was informed and had enough time to process the development. While Trinidad and Tobago, we see that we just recorded our 9th death as a result of COVID-19, and yet still we see people going around the place doing whatever they think is necessary, and they are not taking the necessary precautions. They are not adhering to the social distancing laws. They are not practicing proper sanitation. They are not doing what they are supposed to do. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, in response to your question about whether the government should be, sworn in, we live in a democracy, and it's alive and well. And I think let the democratic process take place. And once all is well, that people's fears and so on have been allayed, then the government definitely will be sworn in. Until up to now, everything that is going on is in accordance with our constitution and the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we see yesterday the PNM's chairman, Colm Imbert, at a press conference accused the UNC of trying to frustrate the recount of ballots in the 5 marginal constituencies from Monday's general elections. And you have been, I'm sure each and every one of you would have been following the developments that have been taking place throughout the country following the 2020 general elections. And I am sure that you each would have your own personal view on the matter. My question now is, do you agree with the statement that is being made by the chairman of the People's National Movement? He also said that the UNC was alleged of harassing returning officers and portraying the election as rigged. Of course, he justified that there is no way that the elections could have been rigged. Mr. Imbert also said that the UNC pretended not to know that the results on election night. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Duki.
Good afternoon.
I want to agree with Imbert that what he reviews confirms what he said. Because I find that the PNM also could ask for recount in certain seats.
Right.
And they stop at that and they say, okay, but this 5 seats that the UNC being with checking and finding this and finding that and finding the other and all that kind of thing. if the shoe was on their foot, what they would have done, I'm sure they would have said the PNL trying to take it, get the act for a recording certainty. They said the PNL trying to take the election. But that is the democratic right. That is up to them. But what my right is that why I waited so long, I want to see who's the Minister of Agriculture to go and talk to him. Because when I supposed to go and talk to Rabarat, they call an election. And I have to wait now. I don't know who will be the next Minister of Agriculture. And I've been keeping back with whatever I have to be doing. And that I have a democratic right on that part. But them have a democratic right. But when they lost, they're asking for a recall. Later on.
Okay, thank you. Oh, we have mixed views here from members of the public with regards to the recount. What are your thoughts? Call us in. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
I would say that after hearing former Minister Hunt's brother said that
yes,
he cannot identify the ballot because he's wearing reading glasses, that broke my heart. That broke my heart. I don't know how you feel about it if you sit down and thought about what he said.
I listened to what he said, and he said that they were
his signature because he's wearing reading glasses.
Yes.
I'm like, what is going on?
Right.
We're in a pandemic. Government can't function because they're not sworn in as yet.
Yes.
And cases are rising. Right now, the country is on autopilot.
Yes.
And what is the reason for the UNC putting through the country with this? You know, when Farris' vote was counted and he came out and spoke, he being the Attorney General and a lawyer by profession, you can see it had no nonsense with his counting. But with the other marginal seats, I don't know what is going on. And to hear the excuses, he's wearing reading glasses, that's something that is unforgivable. People could die because of this pandemic. How long are we going to go on?
Yes.
And they explain the process that the presiding officer had to count the ballots one by one.
But he did say that But he did say that they were holding the ballot a distance away from him.
Yes, ma'am. But the difference in the numbers still will not allow the UNC to win a seat. What is the reason for this? Why they stalling it? Why they stalling it? Why they saying, well, this cannot happen, and we're not taking this out? What is the meaning? First time I'm hearing that the X has to be in the center.
Yes.
Because as long as it don't come out, and they already know this, what is the reason? People could lose their lives. Or the country is running on autopilot. Is this how the UNC want to go down in history? That's all I have to say.
Okay then, thank you. Well, the United National Congress, of course, have not conceded that they to the election, and they would hope that something could possibly work in their favor. Of course, that's left to be seen. And according to Mr. Hunt yesterday, he found a number of irregularities that were taking place during the recount. He said over 171 ballots had irregular initials by the deputy presiding officer. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Let Ember sit down and take it and observe the process and let the process work. This country was never intended to be run by decree, but by rule of law, the representation of the People's Act. Let the process take its course. Just wait. Let's exercise patience.
Yes.
They can't. You can't dictate what must happen here. We operate by law and let the process take its course. He must allow that. And all this hullabaloo and all, no, we don't want that. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
We want the process to take place, but and instead of all jumping all over the place and talk about, that is what has to happen. And that is what is happening. All Ember has to do is to cool himself.
Yes.
They do, so that doesn't belong to them, What they say goes, no,
Yes.
The law, let the rule of law prevail. The representation of people, and let the process take place. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, of course, his argument would be that while it is taking place and the recount is taking place as it should be done, the UNC is finding all different type of excuses to slow down the process. And of course, like I said, the party wants to be sworn into government, and traditionally we would see the swearing-in ceremony for the new government on the Friday after the elections. However, because of the recounting process, we have to hold up on that until further notice. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to just make a little comment here.
Mm-hmm.
Our election was fought on Monday. One party win, the next party win. The next party, all the next party win, they come like I think in the ocean, where they just nasty up the water. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Squid. Yeah. They just nasty. They wouldn't win. They wouldn't win. If you get them all the vote that it says spoil, they still wouldn't win. Why it is these people making up like that? You pulling them forward and pulling backward. What, is that the way politicians are supposed to go? This is a new time.
So
God.
Do you think that they are deliberately trying to slow the process?
Them plan to do that even before the election. They know they was going to lose. I do not know why it have my kind of people finding every goddamn thing to hold on to. They lose and they lose and they lose. When you hear what they say, they try to find condolences. Oh, we had the popular vote. What the hell the popular vote going to do for you? Time to get together. Not because the name opposition. You should not get together with the ruling party and work for the good of the country. Outside here, we have people suffering like hell. And the law said this, I don't want to know about the law. I want it on the road fixed. I want to know all the things that they have to do. Let them do it on a point of law, on a point of this. I do not have no point. I know that point stabbing me in my back and I hurting. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The team that came to win, they were in power. And they were in power for nearly 5 years. And they were not busy that time to do nothing for the country. What they're busy for now, that the democratic process proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your comments this afternoon. And we're still looking at the issue of the irregularities that the United National Congress is claiming with the election results. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is the program?
Yes, it is.
So I just want to throw in my 2 cents on the election. So I don't want to say anybody rigged the election, but there was a lot of, from my little history of elections and following up elections, I think what happened very premature in the sense that in the middle of second, everybody's tabulating. I'm following the news. Everybody's tabulating. Ballots are coming in, and then all of a sudden, somebody declared themselves victory without even the EBC saying anything. So that's one. So there's a process, and the UNC have their right in that process. But I think yesterday, the chairman of the PNM should not have made that comment, because I think he contaminated the process, because he was basically trying to explain to the population and convincing the population that the EBC did everything correct and nobody could steal the election. So to me, that compounded the issue more than anything else, that this election really had some wrongdoing with it. So that's just my 2 cents.
Okay then, thank you very much. Well, Mr. Imbert yesterday said that the notion that the PNM leader, who is the Prime Minister-elect now, Dr. Keith Rowley, had some sort of inside information about the election result was absolute nonsense. It's a lie, he said. Imbert said every candidate for every political party is entitled to have a polling agent who is present in every polling station, in every polling division, in every constituency, who is entitled to monitor and scrutinize the voting process. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Some of the things I've recognized about this recount is this. In Tobago, what St. Duke said, listen, you see me? I'm not in this long stay in this thing. I go and I just declare I go and I give up. I go on.
Mm-hmm.
In Tanapuna, Mr. Naked seems to think that he's an overlord. He can call for a recount. They can say we start at 9 a.m. He can walk in at 11:30. And when the returning officer said, well, look, we're going straight up. He said, no, I'm leaving, I'm going home, So it is clear that the individuals, most of the individuals who are involved in this recount, were not the ones that were in favor of it. They are acting on instructions. What is beguiling to me is that the lieutenant colonel from St. Joseph comes to the media and he says to us, he said, listen, I see 167 ballots and the signatures on it irregular.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Duque, if you are signing, if you are putting your initial on documents wholly, every R you make will be shaped the same way. They have the same contour, everything. Let us be serious. Let us be serious. And you know something? Every ballot that was put in a ballot box was watched with an eagle eye by the agent that he had in that polling booth.
Yes.
Right? How could you come and raise the type of things? You see, what is actually happening here is we are dealing with sore losers. And their intent is to disrupt the whole process of our elections and to make persons within the UNC believe that we have a chance the PNM thief the election. This is wrong. It is wrong. And it should not be allowed to continue. But this is on the record of only one person, Ms. Kamla Prasad Bisesa. She's the one who holds the authority to say we should shut it down or we'll continue it. And she intends to continue it, although she knows she'll have absolutely nothing from it, just frustrate the nation. I thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I have a WhatsApp message that came in, and the person is saying, plain talk, the UNC will not see a next government unless the leader of the UNC steps down. She has lost over 10 elections. I don't think it's 10, but, I think this is a bit of exaggeration here. Time for her to step down, just like she wanted Bass to step down after losing 4 elections. Well, that is a question that we would have touched on earlier this week. And of course, we would have seen a number of press releases from the different constituencies basically voicing their support for Mrs. Prasad Bisesa. Her party is standing by her side. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I don't know why you hurry so for Eric. The same thing Granger did in Guyana. You went to the people office and said, swear me in, I win. The man I win. The EBC, what we did call over there, I forget how the initials they have for them. The man from the EBC over there, Eric, say 150,000 votes spoiled, and the people from the CARICOM, Miyamati, and them said, no, nothing wrong with it, and the court proved that they lost. We only win. Wait now, man. It have plenty time for us to take what remains. Well, the hurry running good. I have 5 years to take a little bit that I'll leave there. Him both making a statement because every time he home. And every time somebody pass in the house and see him, where to find somewhere to go. So he could go in parliament and talk. He can't talk home. And he can't stay home and somebody always chups in and tell him find somewhere to go. You think it's easy to live with a man in a house and your face sour. So I'll wait a little bit, man. Let the people go through the law, just like in Guyana. If they didn't go through the law in Guyana, Granger say he win. And he would have been in government. But the law prevailed. We are saying they're going to lose, Eric. let the law take its course. It has plenty time for it to take the rest what remains. Have a good evening.
Okay, thank you. Well, at this time, we will take a short commercial break. We'll be back after these.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Carry Care International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Cunupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters, and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax, and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton, and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Cunupia.
It's the talk of the town. It's Talk a Talk on U975 FM, Monday to Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. So join me, your host Mukesh Baburam, on a 3-hour journey guaranteed to take your stress away. Remember, Monday to Thursday, right here on U975 FM.
Kathy's School Sport Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's School Sport Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
It's Yummy Tummy Time with Urmi. I am Irma Ratan Singh, inviting you to join me on Yummy Tummy with Urmi. Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy. Mondays to Thursdays, just after the 10 a.m. news update and Let's Talk Guyana. Yummy Tummy with Urmi brings to you exciting and tasty recipes, and you can even learn to recreate dishes using leftovers. Yummy Tummy with Urmi on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Catch us on YouTube at RCL U975 and Facebook. Remember to eat healthy, stay happy. Happy eating!
And welcome back to Politics 2020. Remember, you can call us at 636-7547, 227-5739. You can also send us a WhatsApp at 378-4975. We have a call on the line. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
No, I want to know again. If they can't keep the party business to themselves, they're infighting. All the time they're infighting. Can they take a copy from the PNM? Can they take a copy from the PNM? I vote for the UNC at the last minute. And I am disappointed at how long they fighting. I could be a better leader than that one, and that is the demise. That is their demise. Fighting. Thank you.
Thank you for that call. Well, the UNC is supposed to have their political leader election next year, so maybe you should put yourself up for the position, huh? So, in a bit of updated news again, the UNC founder and former Prime Minister Basdev Pandey on Friday said it was the UNC's problem whether Kamla Persad-Bissessar resigns or as the leader. Of course, again, the party members of the party's PRO Anita Haynes said that the party's future does not hinge on the results on the recounts going in the party's favor. And she said she recalled that Persad-Bissessar was elected with a very huge mandate. Hello, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Nicole. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I just heard a little while ago you said we had a ninth death of COVID-19 in our country.
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, it's starting you see because when you look at, when I spoke to Kenrick this morning, I talked about ageable people who have respiratory illnesses. And we are very vulnerable to be catching this at an easier pace than anybody else.
Yes.
And when we are asking the government of the day in the past, before the government was dissolved, to do more pertaining to COVID-19 by bringing the restrictions of certain things much more harsh on this public.
Yes.
Nobody taking me on. Nobody taking me on. No, I'm sorry to hear that lady passed away. I do not know who it is, but condolences to her family and friends and well-wishers. But at the end of the day, 1 life, 9 lives lost in COVID-19 in this country.
It's 9 too many.
It's too much. Now, look, I parked up here in David Wellington Junction. Just when I put back data in my phone. And I can tell you, I'm watching the atmosphere. People is not wearing masks. People are not social distancing. I passed by a bar a while ago coming down, and people were hanging out like normal. So where the bar owners are asking people to distance themselves around a table, you see, we will talk how much we want to talk, but we will only follow laws when it is implemented. Just as when laws came out for seatbelt. When last you heard somebody went to court for a seatbelt in this country because people have grown accustomed putting on the seatbelt when they go into a vehicle? And that's the only way we will learn. Yes. When the government of the day or the Minister of National Security or Minister of Transport indicate that we have this law in effect and it must be put to use, and if we don't listen, we will feel.
Well, the health minister, prior to the elections and everything, at a press conference, would have stated that the AG was looking at whether or not they can make mask wearing mandatory, and then a few weeks later, he would have come and said that they were not looking at that at the time. So it's left to see what will happen when they are sworn back into government, what the health minister and the chief medical officer and his team would be doing.
Nicole, one of the questions I would like, if you all can get it through to the CMO, at what stage of the virus that we have in this country? Because, listen, when COVID-19 first came out, right, after months or 2 months passed, then the science proved that there were 3 different stages of COVID-19. I don't know if you're aware of it.
Yes.
Right? I would like to know, in our country here, as we speak, could somebody in the medical fraternity who has the capability to know what stage of the phase of the virus that we are having in our country? So then, if the population know that this stage is much more worse than the first stage, because the virus have 3 different stages. I mean, I listened to CNN, I listened to BBC World News, and they talked about 3 different stages. Even people in Wuhan, the scientists in Wuhan was explaining that to the rest of the world. So the question lies is this. Yes, we have COVID-19, But which one of the phases that we have? 1, 2, or 3? Because they categorize each one for certain things. With ailment in your body, and you know, even if you get it, your organs will not perform 100% after. Look, on WION, yesterday I read that people who had contracted COVID-19 and got relief from it, who do have it no more longer, came back and tested positive again. So we have relapses taking place in other countries. Is it not that when you finish your quarantine and you get your 2 negatives, we do not know how sure if the person they're going to let out or family members who come back home is really free and clear from COVID-19. And you know what, Nicole? This country is not paying attention.
Of
the
course
citizens
not.
in this country is not paying attention.
It's quite evident when you go on the outside and you look at how people are behaving.
Having a sign up in front of a place, mask, no service, it's a joke.
Yes.
It is a serious joke. You know why? Because the people who own this establishment not enforcing that statement for us to follow. And only when we start seeing people getting embarrassed and they cannot purchase something in their favorite food outlet or the marketplace or a gas station, then we will understand how serious COVID-19 is, because it is not a ordinary life again anymore. COVID-19 has taken away much of our freedom, much of our liberty. Like if we are in prison, all because of one person catch it and left it to spread for the rest of the world, and we, the innocent people who working and try to provide equally and fairly for our families, we have to pay a price for this virus. And you know what? The population in this country is not taking this to heart and saying, you know what, let me start doing what the people say. It is too late now, Nicole. It is too late. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Larry. Well, of course, it is what it is. The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago have not been heeding the call of the science, the doctors, the medical personnel, and they've been doing their own thing. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Nicole.
Triple E.
Okay, hello.
Tell me something. If when Parliament dissolved, the ministers still hold the portfolio?
Well, according to the recent statement by the president, yes, the minister does hold the portfolio until a new government is signed in.
No, why do you not ask? Hello?
Yes?
The reason why I ask this question is because election come and go on.
Yes.
There's no sworn in of anybody, so they still hold the portfolio then?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow. That's what I want to find out now. Probably I want to educate myself.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well,
I
will look for the statement from the president and I will share it with you.
Yes. I said we need plenty Duncan Bridge, Diamond Duncan today.
Oh, okay. Well, the Met Office did say we could look out for some rain today, and into the weekend we can also look out for some rain. So, of course, if you know you're living areas that are prone to flooding, take the necessary precautions.
The volume of water down here has fighting for the day and woodland. Keep good.
Okay, thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nicole.
Good afternoon.
You know, this country is a jokey country.
Clearly.
You get all kind of mixed matters. Do this, but don't do that. And the don't do, might as well do, because it doesn't make a difference. You have 25 people could walk into a maxi taxi, just swap to one another, touching shoulders. Nothing wrong with that. Go on, travel 25 in a maxi, but 25 can't go in a bar and sit on a table.
Yes.
But, I mean, how much sense that make? How much logic that make? And come here talk about bar. The bar is the least of the trouble. The trouble in this country is policy or lack thereof. And when you talk about enforcement, is a joke. Off and on, police will pick up somebody, do something, and say, right, something happened.
Well, for years, the issue of enforcement has been one that we've always had a challenge with, because we have the laws. It's the enforcement of the laws is what we don't have.
Exactly. And I always say, they go to Parliament, they pass laws.
Yes.
And they expect the law to jump out the book and follow the people who break the law and apprehend them and carry to the courthouse and prosecute them. That doesn't happen. We have a problem with management. From the top come right down. And you know what? is not the people in the government, you know. It's really people ourselves. Because that's what we say. Oh, yes, somebody saying what why should you be complaining if you vote for a party and you're not getting service and want to vote for them again? You shouldn't complain.
Exactly.
And I say, no, I don't understand the logic. If I vote for you, you have to deliver for me.
Exactly.
I can't tell you to do. I didn't vote for you, but you have to deliver for me. You could do what you want. But once I vote for you, I'm holding responsibility to me.
That's right.
And in this country, no, it's my party, you know. Once my party do anything right, once I don't care how I suffer, you know. So as my party there now, and this is where Trinidad is, because all of us natives I'd make some statement in Nicole.
Yes.
You know a place called Surtees?
No.
A place called Caribleek? in Grenada and in St. Vincent. You have two cliffs. One Surtees and one Caribleek. The history is that people en masse, the American people, jumped over the cliff and committed suicide. You know for what? Protest. Protest against the authorities. The point I want to make is we follow these people blindly. And they tell us, hey, you're serious? We show them it's serious, jump off the cliff. But the leader not going near the cliff edge, you know.
Not at all.
He ain't going over there. But you jump in to prove that you serious.
Yes.
Where did that put you in the end? And that's what happening in this country right now with the two native groups in this country. And I make no apologies for it. Whoever want to take me and say I'm being racist, they could call me what they want to call me. I am not concerned. You know, I'm making this statement, and I know this is going to bring some controversy. Have you ever heard a man referred to as a white man take offense? I never hear a white man take offense. White man, okay, right, fine. Indian, right, fine. Brown man, yellow man. But there are some people, when you refer to them by the color of the skin, they take strong offense. And they say that is racist. Thank you.
Thank you. And the caller is right. We have an issue for years with the enforcement of laws in this country. We have so many laws to govern our country and to keep our citizens on the right track, yet still we have an issue with the enforcement of the laws. I guess that's the reason why the police commissioner is sticking to his grounds and is saying that he wants to suspend officers, he wants to fire officers who are on suspension. He wants to get rid of the rogue officers in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are our own enemy.
That's right.
We are our own enemy, and we like to play with our life. You find somebody going up the road in a bus, they're hanging out from by the step. We like to take chances with life, and this year epidemic is not to take no chance because you have no chance.
That's right.
Do what you have to do. Get your mask. My mask is hanging on the doorknob, the door I go outside with. So when I turn it, I see my mask right there. I do not know why our people is like this. Indian people, Negro people, I ain't hearing nothing too much about the Syrian people. But
Trinidadians on the whole, Trinidadians overall, they are like that.
Man, something needs to... When will these people get educated? You see, they like to watch TV, you know. They see what's going on. But no, that I go come here. Oh, we have a lighter version than that. Wait a man, get a month and we'll see what happens. Thank you.
Thank you. And you're right, we don't ever take things seriously in this country. Hello, good afternoon.
Because there is another thing that's taking place coming up, and I don't think people in Trinidad are aware of it. There is a mosquito in Montreal that is very, very deadly. There's no cure if you get bit from this mosquito. And I have been following it. And if that end up in Trinidad, you know we have stagnant waters in this country, box drains and rivers and stuff.
And of course, rainy season is upon us, right?
And that is breeding ground for mosquitoes.
Yes.
And I was alerted to it through my wife because she's in Canada, and she was explaining it to me. And they say that if you get bit with this mosquito, there's instant death. It is so deadly, there is no cure for it. So we are seeing in the world that many different viruses and different illnesses coming out that can take your life with the snap of a blink of an eye then. And we're not paying attention. We only taking out politics and the recount and who's the prime minister and what the president should do. No. You see me, I out at that. I am looking to make sure that people can understand by this medium, by talking about things that will make much sense in the mind when you sit down to eat your dinner, or if you're driving your vehicle and you're hearing this broadcast, will make you think differently. Because at the end of the day, politicians will go into the office, sit down nice, dry, enjoy life, and we outside here, the taxpayers, we have to pay for them to enjoy life when we have to be suffering. So I'm not going to go down into the politics. What I'm saying is this. Just look at how we are lawless. We have to pass our vehicles inspection every 2 years, and we will not do it. And when the government of the day come and say, listen, license officers coming out to inspect vehicles and charge you on the road and you raise fine, you'll see all the inspection bays in this country full to capacity. That's how lawless we are. And we don't take advice. And the more we don't take advice, according to my old grandmother who passed away, she says, son, when you can hear, you will feel.
That's right.
And you know what? I believe that because many times I didn't listen to my mother and father and I get relics and I feel it. And after that I learn.
Some people never learn until it hits close to home.
And today, many people in this country who have the freedom, where they say Trinidad and Tobago is a paradise, and I can tell you that I live abroad for a number of years. Trinidad and Tobago is a paradise, a beautiful country. But when you have people who are not listening and paying attention and want to do their own thing and jeopardize my life, I will come down hard. And I'm calling on the authorities if they still hold their office according to what you just said. I'm calling on the CEO. I'm calling on the Minister of Health, Terence Alsing, and I'm calling on the Minister of National Security, Mr. Stuart Young. And I respect them and I call them by the correct name.
Yes.
They have to make something mandatory in this country. Otherwise, we're going to pay a serious price. The innocent will end up suffering just as the sick suffering. For what? Because of negligence. And I will very much understand that if what Chris just said there, maxi taxi and PTSD bus running full capacity, that is madness. Because if you jump to somebody who may be infected that you do not know, your sweat and all too from your pores can also help you get infected. Not only by the droplets of speaking to somebody by wearing a mask. Think about it all wrong. Health is important. Without health, you have nothing. Think about it. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Larry. And at this time, we will take the news with Sharon Baruch, and we return after this.
All bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high-quality unbleached bromate-free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited, 665-3336, or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations. Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Hi, my name is Nicole Dookie, and I am inviting you to join me alongside Kenrick Jaggernaut on U-Talk, Mondays to Fridays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. We will be bringing you all the information you need to know in the world of news and current affairs. You are also invited to add your voice, so call us live and let's get interactive.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Elisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday.
This is the 4 p.m. news on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio. I am Sharon Balrup. Good afternoon. Citizens are taking jobs to transport illegal immigrants from Venezuela to Trinidad. This is according to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Deputy Police Commissioner Jason Ford said this is cause for concern.
The third item that is rather worrying, and it should be worrying for all of Trinidad and Tobago, is that citizens, notably fishermen, are taking jobs to transport illegal immigrants from Venezuela to Trinidad.
A 32-year-old Las Cuevas man was expected to appear in court today. He was charged for transporting illegal immigrants into the country.
We have arrested a few of those, and firstly I'll speak about in Western Division. On the 25th of July, a fisherman took his boat, went to Venezuela, and returned here with about 32 Venezuelan nationals. He was held by Coast Guard officers, handed over to the police. Inquiries between the police service in collaboration with the immigration department were conducted. The Venezuelan nationals were eventually quarantined and they were subsequently repatriated back to Venezuela.
Tobago Police Service has rubbished claims of 2 ballot boxes at the Tunapuna Police Station. There were reports of the boxes being at the station after Monday's elections. However, an investigation launched into the matter has uncovered that it was not true. This was explained by Deputy Police Commissioner Jason Ford.
And we took action whereby, under the guidance of the Assistant Commissioner of Responsibility for that area, the entire Tunapuna Police Station and its surroundings, the entire compound, was searched thoroughly. And guess what that search turned up? Nothing, nada, zilch.
He also commented on the discovery of polling cards which were found at Pinto Road, Arima.
That matter is under investigations, whereby we have appointed a team of investigators to look at that issue. We are engaging the attention of the Election Boundaries Commission, TT Post, the person who found the ballot cards. That person has been interviewed, a statement has been recorded, and that matter is under investigations. At this time, the investigations are still ongoing, so we have not conclusively closed it, so we cannot give you an outcome.
This country has recorded its 9th death as a result of COVID-19. The victim is an elderly female with pre-existing medical conditions. The Ministry of Health has recorded 8 more COVID-19 active cases are now up to 265. Of these, 2 patients are very ill and are being treated in the intensive care unit and 1 in the high dependency unit. The latest cases reported today include 6 contacts of recently diagnosed COVID patients, and 2 cases are pending investigation. 51 of the active cases are being housed at step-down facilities in Sangre Grande and Balandra, waiting on negative tests in order to go home. In all, since the start of the pandemic, Trinidad and Tobago has recorded 412 positive cases, of which 139 recovered, and there are now 9 deaths. The Point Fortune District Court has been closed after a member of staff was exposed to a person who has been tested for COVID-19 and is awaiting results. In a press release this morning, the judiciary stated that no one will be allowed into the court building. They said vacating the building has become necessary as a precautionary measure, given that while the staff member has not been confirmed as COVID-19 positive, the usual precautions for this level of exposure have called for the current course of action. The sanitization of the facility will be conducted and there shall be no in-person hearings or activities until further notice. Virtual court hearings will continue. You are listening to the 4 p.m. news on U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. It's time now to look at regional and international developments. We start with news from the region. Women's involvement in Dominica's agriculture sector is about to be enhanced. This as their experiences were brought to the fore during a gender awareness workshop. The United Nations Development Program recently held the workshop with extension officers from Dominica's Division of Agriculture. Officers were encouraged to draw from their field experiences to explore the differences between sex and gender and how this understanding influenced their work with female and male farmers. The purpose is to improve the knowledge, attitudes, and skills of officers in order to create gender-responsive programming, reduce bias, and advance gender awareness. Internationally, the U.S. Postal Service has warned one state that its election laws might mean that millions of mail-in votes go uncounted in November's election. In a letter to Pennsylvania's top official overseeing the vote, the USPS said that a one-week turnaround for mail-in ballots may not be possible. It comes amid a major slowdown in mail deliveries, which critics say is due to policies enacted by a Trump appointee. A record number of people are expected to vote by mail due to the pandemic. Mr. Trump has repeatedly said that mail-in ballots will give a boost to his rival Democrat Joe Biden and lead to voting fraud. Experts say the mail-in voting system, which is used by the American military and by Mr. Trump himself, is safe from tampering. In news of weather, for the period this afternoon and tonight, Trinidad and Tobago and the southern leewards will experience partly cloudy conditions with a few scattered light to moderate showers. There is the medium chance of heavy showers and isolated thunderstorms. Conditions are expected to become settled by nightfall despite a few lingering showers. Street flooding and gusty winds are possible in the event of heavy downpours. Waves up to 2 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. The current temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. This brings us to the end of the 4 p.m. news on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Stay tuned for another newscast at 6 p.m. I am Sharon Balrup. Good afternoon.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
boys now they pack up in tongue. In for a penny and in for a pound. Believe me, it's competition for so. Trouble in the town when the price drop low. So when you bounce up, Gina and Dinah, Rosita and Clementina, round the corner posing that your life is something they sell it. And when you catch them broke, you can get them all for nothing. Don't make a row. The Yankees gone, Sparrow they go now. So hear them cry, not a sailor in tongue, the nightclubs right, only West Indians like me or you.
And welcome back to Politics 2020. Just a little light music to add some flavor to your Friday afternoon. And remember, you can call us live in studio at 636-7547, 227-5739, and you can WhatsApp us at 378-4975. And just some news that came in a short while ago. The Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, will host a media conference tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. at the Diplomatic Center in St. Anne's. And of course, we will wait to see what that media conference will be about. My instincts are telling me it might just be about COVID-19 and the sudden increase in the number of cases of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, we recorded our 9th death today. Of course, an elderly lady who had some medical complications. So moving on with the show, earlier on, prior to the news, we were discussing so many issues pertaining to the elections 2020 that were held right here on Monday in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, the PNM would have won the elections with 22 seats against the UNC, who would have gotten 19 seats. And of course, throughout the week, you would have seen recounts starting in 5 polling divisions, and these included San Fernando West, La Joqueta, Talparo, Toko Manzanola, Tunapuna, and St. Joseph. Of course, last night, San Fernando West was completed, and it went in the favor of Faris Al-Wari. And yesterday we had the People's National Movement accusing the UNC of trying to frustrate the recount, and they are saying that it's deliberate on the part of the UNC, and also they're also saying that the UNC pretended not to know the results on election night. Yesterday also, Mr. Imbert would have indicated that, you know, the party, the UNC, is telling lies with regards to election observers by stating that the Prime Minister and the government of the day did not want the election observers to come into the country. However, he's saying that is not true, and it was difficult for CARICOM to get persons to come here to spend 14 days in quarantine and then stay for additional days to observe the elections and so forth. And of course, that has been an issue, and one of the main issues being raised by the United National Congress as it related to what would have transpired on election day. We have the police, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service would have had to investigate reports of ballot boxes at the Tunapuna police station. Well, today the police service would have confirmed that an investigation was done, and the station and its surroundings were searched thoroughly, and that was not the case. And also a team was appointed to deal with the discovery of a quantity of polling cards in the Pinto Road area, and we will be waiting the results of that investigations. Okay, so we're moving on a little more now, and we would have seen throughout the week statements being made on social media with regards to race statements, as a matter of fact, being made on social media. Well, today the police commissioner would have sent a message to citizens and asked them to calm down, take a deep breath. And of course, again, the We also have we had an issue with Venezuelan national, a young girl who was beaten and raped and left for dead, and we would have seen that we were told today rather that citizens are taking jobs to transport illegal immigrants from Venezuela to Trinidad, and a captain of a boat was actually arrested and charged and was expected to appear in court today to answer the 32 counts of 32 charges rather for transporting these nationals into Trinidad and Tobago. So remember, you can call us. You can call us at 636-7547, 222-5739, or you can WhatsApp at 3784975. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm calling from Boyshore in Pidal.
Okay, welcome.
Real rain up here, real plenty rain. Yeah, this is our constituency.
It is a?
Our constituency, or East.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I didn't vote in the last election this month ago because I really didn't have a choice because we had Mulilal and we had a TNS candidate.
Uh-huh.
It didn't really make sense because I voted for since 2010, which never makes sense. It's time for we to wipe the tears off the eyes.
Uh-huh.
Somebody new to work at the profile for 5 years so they can go test the TNS. It doesn't make no sense after moving up it. And you could never put somebody new. You always have to get somebody who will fill their profile.
So in other words, you were unhappy with the representation that you would have had in the last 5 years. Hence the reason...
The last 15 years.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Well, we're seeing that there's flooding on Scott Street and Cipero Street in San Fernando. So if you're in that area, please exercise caution. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, before the break, Chris made a great point.
Mm-hmm.
One thing he left out, though, the best part was that the Chinese man, if you say Chin, China man, Chinese, he is not offended. Good one, Chris. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
Why is this problem with people bringing Venezuelan vote? There ain't nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
It's free enterprise.
Yes, but you bring in non-nationals at a time when the borders are closed and we are in the midst of a pandemic.
My dear Nicole, wherever a human person will see an opportunity to make $1 and they could break the rule, they will do it.
Of course, because reports are saying...
This is why you have institutions.
Reports are
this
saying
is why
that...
a police service,
yes.
national security, people who are in fact hired and trained to ensure that your borders are protected, that your citizens are protected against unscrupulous people. So when you just say, hey, look, they're coming, 22 of them on a boat, paying $250 each, good money?
Mm-hmm.
How, you know what happened? Listen, when you go and you make that statement to the public, every month about say, wait, $250 for one of them, 10 people is $2,500, 20 people is what? Why? Nah, why doing here? Change the trade too. We have to understand what is taking place in this country, and we have to put our resources in place to block up what's taken. We ain't talking now. As you rightly said earlier today, implementation is our problem. Management is not something that we know about in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, of course, in recent times, we would have heard that there has been a high demand for prostitution in Trinidad and Tobago, and the Prime Minister, in an interview 2 days ago, would have also stated that prostitution is contributing to the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago significantly. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, dear.
Good afternoon.
This two statement that is the Assistant Commissioner
that made about the when they say repatriate them, how they send them back to? They send them with a plane or a boat or the same boat that bring them.
Well, that is what he didn't say, eh?
Right. Then they must be still in Trinidad. Right? And the other one about, you think they're going to leave those ballot box there for somebody to find it? They moved that already. That is, I ain't saying you're lying, I say you're not speaking the truth. They have a difference there, you're not speaking the truth.
Okay.
Just like the rest of them, the Minister of Health, and I just say, I don't know if he's the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security. I don't know if them still holding them posts because...
Yes, they are. And the Prime Minister would be hosting a press conference tomorrow.
To me, if elections still at final count, they're not supposed to be holding any post. They're not supposed to be getting a salary. Honestly speaking, but they're still getting it. We money they're taking and paying themselves. But when we have to get a little bit pension money, they're taking $500 from everybody. Think about it. Yes, so they're not lying, but they're not speaking the truth. They have a difference. They come like you're hearing, but they're not listening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, I can't say whether they are speaking the truth or not. I can only go by what they are saying. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Do you think that politicians are magic men? I think they are magic men. Because they will make all the money disappear. And what you would have faced saying, you know where it's going now. That part of the trick, they know how to make it disappear. But they can't bring it back. They only have a trick. So we need to put pressure on these people. The opposition should be getting so much pressure on now. They can't win this election. Well, no matter what they do. Thank you.
But the question is, how do we put pressure on these people? Because we can protest, we can do whatever we think is necessary, but how effective would it be? Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You know, sometimes I don't sit down and laugh when I listen to a certain contribution.
Yes.
The point about it is that 2 ballot box missing. And the EBC, them box have to be numbered, and it's under a polling division of the returning officer that these boxes have to be counted for.
Yes.
Well, the police make me laugh. They're looking for 2 ballot boxes. The first thing you have to check is to get the number of the ballot box that missing. First thing you have to go to the returning officer where this ballot box comes from. You have to know, you must know how much ballot box you put out. Oh, geez and age. And you know what's worrying me again? This lady what Jolene John?
Yes.
And she's a deputy political leader of the UNC party. And Khadija Amin is also a deputy political leader of the UNC.
Yes.
So why don't send Khadija Amin in Talparo, La Roqueta, and put Jolene John in St. Augustine? Why take the Dingy Jolene John a safe seat? Like in Caroni East or Central or one of these places or whatsoever. Why didn't you give her a safe seat and put somebody else of a La Roqueta Talparo, because you know that seat is in a balanced situation. So which means you show for a couple like you don't like Jolene John or what? That is basically you're showing me. Because I know when Pandey and Jack Warner was going together, I know he bring Jack Warner and Jack Warner's first and tell the people here what this is situation, so and so. All vote for him, and the man was a good parliamentarian, a good candidate, a good everything. You understand? So I feel Kamala have a problem with Jolene John, and she put she up there to know that she can win no seat. and she put Khadija Ahmed because she had a good relation with Khadija Ahmed in St. Augustine where she could get her.
But St. Augustine has always been a safe seat
for
many years for the party.
For Barack, them days, it was a safe seat. So I don't know what Khadija Ahmed was campaigning and fighting about. But Jolene John had to work hard, fix road, give TV and stove, give the, and all them kind of foolishness to just try to gain a seat. And she lost. I feel Kamala like she, because Kamala like she right now, Kamala might step down and put she up as the leader of the political party right now.
Okay, then. Very interesting comments indeed. So, we are at the point where we are still awaiting the result of the recount of 4 constituencies. We are awaiting the swearing in of a new government, which hopefully should take place sometime next week once all goes according to plan. What are your thoughts on the recount? What are your thoughts on the statements being made by the chairman of the People's National Movement with regards to the recount, and the fact that he's stating that the United National Congress is deliberately delaying the recount process? What are your thoughts on all of these issues? Also, we have the burning issue of COVID-19, which is still affecting us, and of course we would have recorded our latest death earlier today. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I await with bated breath for that press conference of the Prime Minister tomorrow.
Yes.
Because it will be more Kamala bashing, more UNC bashing, blaming him for every sin in his country.
Do you think it would be that, or do you think it would be, to address the nation with regards to COVID-19? Because I think that is the more pressing issue at the moment, the COVID-19 pandemic, and we have people dying now, and we have a steady increase in the number of persons who would have tested positive in the last few days.
Well, I agree with you, but PNM is not going to, they will mention that, but they will blame Kamala for it again and said that the government is not in place to have a Minister of Health in order to put plans in place to combat this virus. And you notice that people there, you have to blame the people, because I go to Chaguanas Market and I see many people. As a matter of fact, the majority of them, they are not wearing masks at all. What the government should do is to make mask wearing compulsory, as in some countries. And if you don't wear it, there are hefty fines. In England, for example, there are very, very hefty fines if you are not wearing your mask.
Yes.
And if you have to go into a business place, they put you out. You are not allowed to go inside here, And they have a system there. We have facilities here for quarantine people. Now, the UK has a big population of over about 66 million people. And you have hundreds and thousands of people are being quarantined. But they're not being quarantined in hotels and so on like we do here. They're being quarantined in their own home, and you have police checking on them. And if they are not there on a police visit, you have a hefty fine to pay. And this is what it is. But over here, the only thing with this police service here is to hear Gary Griffith opening his mouth all the time, and he's not implementing the laws of this, enforcing the laws of this country, and this is the problem. And this virus is very deadly. It is one of the deadliest viruses in the last 100 years. Not only is it killing you by damaging your lungs, but it affects your kidney and your heart as well. So you might have, you might be sick. Although you might recover from it, there are certain complications which will arise later on in your life. And I want to tell Terence Dial Singh and Rowley, this virus is not a DNA virus. It is an it is an RNA virus, because it has the nucleotide called uracil, which is only found in RNA viruses. So when they're holding their press conferences, let them put it correctly, please, And finally, let me state here, recently in one of the news broadcasts at 4 o'clock,
yes,
they were mentioning about a plane crash bringing refugees and people from Dubai and so on to India. And it crashed in one of the southwestern states in India.
Yes.
Now that state is It's Kerala. It's pronounced Kerala.
Kerala, yeah.
Not Kerala, as your newscasters say, because they have been guilty of pronouncing words badly. And finally, let me state, you cannot have a total lockdown of our borders. England, for example, has one of the best navies in the world and the best coast guards. And every day, dozens of people are crossing the English Channel from France into England. And you have the same thing, people from Africa there going through Libya and crossing the Mediterranean and going to the Italian island of Lampedusa and the independent country of Malta there, risking their lives to get to Europe. And they have, again, let me state, Italy has one of the best navies in the world and coast guard, just as in England. And they are unable to stem the tide. So we can't do it here. We might control to some extent, but people are still going to come. And when people come here, don't blame the Venezuelans for every single sin and crime in this country, right? We have a tendency. Hitler blamed the Jews in the Second World War there for the problems of Germany, and he massacred 6 million of them. And this is something people do. They're always blaming foreigners here, and they wouldn't blame themselves. And let me warn all women in this country, do not go into PH taxis unless you know the person for a long time there. And if you see a PH taxi with men in it and you're a woman, don't go into it. As what happened there in that ring road to the 18-year-old Venezuelan girl there. And guess who did it according to the papers? He's a SRP policeman arrested. So women must be very careful. I am a man. I have my own car. But if for some reason I have to take a taxi, I'm not going to taxi. I take a maxi. And if I see more than one man in a taxi there, I am not going into it at all. So I don't know why women do these things. You see men in a taxi there, and you want to go inside. This is a PH car. Do not wait. And if you have a bus, if you have to wait 2 hours to get a bus, 2 hours, you will save your life. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, dear.
Hi.
What a nice rainy afternoon to be in bed.
Well, it is not raining where we are just yet.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yes.
Yeah, well, what is this thing about Iran product?
Well, a number of supermarkets would have taken a decision to remove the products from
info on it, why it happened?
the an employee at the company would have made some racist statements on social media that would have attracted a lot of attention, and that would have allowed supermarkets to make a decision to boycott the products.
Okay, so if an employee made a comment, why they have to remove the product?
Yes.
And so all the other UNC and all the Indian community should boycott those supermarkets now.
Well,
what I was hearing today, I went out.
Yes.
Yes, because it come like a racial thing now.
It is. It was a comment based on race and people.
Now the Indian community, whether you, regardless of what party you're supported, but the Indian community should boycott all these supermarkets who pull the products.
Yes.
Yes, it's only fair. And PNM now showing up their real asinine qualities. You see how they're getting on? They just want to push for office again. But all the old people, well, today Friday from next week, old people should go and demonstrate to get a $500 that they hold back. And they spend all that money wisely on giving their people food card and hamper and what, and they take all the money and pocket it. And now they're saying they have no money. We have to tighten our belt. Rowley better bring out the $22 billion he has because he got $20 million US from PAHO. People do not sit quietly now. Now is the time to rise up. Rise up. We need to get our benefits now, everybody. We need to seek better treatment in this country. We can't look at one side benefiting and we not benefiting. It's not right. Okay, my dear.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi.
People shouldn't boycott all the supermarkets. They should target the one that started it, which is Massy Stores. And I already started it. Massy Stores not going to get my money, I can tell you, unless I started to see ramps around products in it. And I go influence people to do the same thing. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that is a topic I don't really like to touch on too much, as race in particular. I try to stay very, very far away from that. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi.
This issue with this racist statement that we are making publicly.
Yes.
Now, I don't know how much people read all the posts that was made, but at no time any sort of discrimination was made where our ethnic group was identified or a religious group was identified. Now, the Prime Minister identified yellow bananas as a racist entity. He identified that, and he said that how he know that how when people see African people eating banana, they think that they are monkeys. He made that public on stage on a platform. Then he said the little skit that was portrayed with the little girl bare feet, that was racist also. So we have reached a point in this country where we interpret things the way how we see it.
Yes.
And because it is probably more geared to one ethnic group, we term it racist. So from now, every single thing we could interpret and just come out in the public and say that is racist. Now, the statement that the girl made, now I'm not affiliated in any way with Ramsaran or the product or anything like that. But what I am trying to put forward here now is that anytime we allow these things to go on, it might affect Ramsaran today, but tomorrow it would affect somebody else and another person. And I am totally disappointed with the Supermarket Association head, that is Rajiv Dipti or whatever his name. I consider he is a total illiterate fool that does not and should not be the head of an organization to make it public without having any sort of facts and information as to calling for boycott of these products. And
do you see it as a case of follow suit? I mean, Massey would have started it, and then you would have seen everybody.
He made that call first. He made it. He's the head of the Supermarket Association, and he made the call publicly on television and in his domain to start for supermarkets to pull the product from their shelves. And I hope that the owners of Ramsaran products get a good lawyer and file a lawsuit against this organization, this supermarket, this Rajiv Dipti fella, in a domain of suing the company, the organization for all the losses that they would incur, and file a civil lawsuit against him, because you cannot allow people to interpret things and call and be a head of an organization and start calling for people to pull products from the shelves when it is not so. She didn't make any racist. The statement was derogatory. It was disgusting in a way. It was embarrassing in a way. It was humiliating. It was everything. But she did not identify a specific ethnic group. And we had to understand that. Now, the laws of, if she had done that, there are laws in the country that would get her locked up. She would have been facing the jail today, and she would have been facing the court for discrimination. But that never happened. So that is why there are no charges that could be laid against the person who made the statement. And then now, to be in charge of an organization and calling for these kind of things to happen, then tomorrow they could call to see that out here. If somebody make a statement against Angus Murao, they're going to call to pull alcohol off the shelf. If somebody make a derogatory statement against diapers, they're going to stop selling diapers. So people in organization have to be sensitive. You can't just be like America, and as soon as you hear some racist statement, you come and you say, okay, we boycotted this and pull the products. We have to be sensitive. This is Trinidad and Tobago. No ethnic group in this country could survive without each other in this country.
Agreed. I totally agree with
and
that.
Nobody cannot say what is racism in this country, because when you look at Carnival, do you see any racism in that? When you look at the neighborhood and you see who's your neighbor next door, you really feel a racist could exist in a society like Trinidad and Tobago, we might make statements, we might vent whenever we are hurt with like, okay, look like when you're looking at the news and thing and you see all the crime taking place, and we see majority is of one ethnic group that is robbing people, the Chinese grocery and thing. Now if somebody come out, look, Sergeant Alexander will be talking this all the time. He say what is happening to this ethnic group all the time. He just mentioned that on the program. He just publicly say it. Look at this ethnicity of young people. What is happening? What are they eating? What is going on? And he publicly make these statements, but he's an African.
Yes.
So if it was said by an Indian person, we could interpret it as racism. And all this xenophobia started through election, and it was started by the Prime Minister and his political party. Every single thing that they could have put a twist on to make it look racial. And that is what it does every single time election comes around. They wait and they strategize and they play that trump card, that race card at an appropriate time during the election to try to woo voters and the undecided and things. And they did it perfectly for this election. And now it is going further now into our society, because normally after election who win, and then we function as normal, we back to our normal ways in our life and going on. But this now thing starting to filter more into our daily life.
Okay, caller, I'm going to have to cut you now because I am way past my break time, so I need to take a break and come back.
Okay, dear.
Thanks for your contribution.
In the wonderful name of Jesus, my name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
You can now listen to business news Monday to Fridays at 5 p.m. Get updated on all the latest business developments. Tune in to U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, where we keep you informed, educated, and entertained.
Visit Top Gear Auto Parts and Repairs today at Southern Main Road, Couva, opposite the Anglican School. They specialize in tune-ups, injector cleaning, transmission flush, brakes and suspension, vehicle diagnostics, wheel alignment and balancing, and all general auto maintenance. Call us today on 271-6525. Top Gear Auto Parts and Repairs, your one-stop shop.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rochelle Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale, and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
This is Samaru Ramru inviting you on a journey down memory lane with enchanting songs on the program Nightline. Mondays to Thursdays, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Let your heart sing along with the music on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
There was a magic island full of magic people. Let me tell you a story about their pain and their glory. Oh yeah. Many rivers flow to this naked eye, bringing fear and pain, but also a brand new style. And of all these rivers that shape this land, two mighty ones move like a sculptor's hand. And today those hands across the land manifest
And welcome back to Politics 2020. The time in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is 4:50. We have 10 minutes to go before the hour of 5 o'clock, and we have a call on the line. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Anna.
Nicole.
I have to call you back here. I don't like to deal with this topic here. But you see when people playing blind, or they play like they know, and they're this or they're that, let me read something for you. Give me a second. She wrote, let us, the hard-working UNC supporters, continue to pay taxes and mind the loafers that support the PNM. We really live in a bloody banana republic. Yes. I hope Rowley starts putting contraceptives in their water supply. Yes, because these cockroaches keep populating, and the only thing they know how to do is vote. Now you tell me, and who wants to understand the situation? Is that something going to put on social media and your parents have a 70-year parents, I say parents, I forget, I know who she is, but she's a family, I'm sorry, family, a 70-year-old business going on. People, them have to make, they have to sell, people have to buy, they have to send you to school, you're an accountant, you're this. It was my family, I am telling you today, madam, to keep. And I asked the government for a pavement on the road and Bella Lulton and put she inside it. Honestly, for that kind of word that she said. And after you apologizing, keep that dog in your chest. She's a business-oriented person. So if you're going to do business, you will watch a black African man have a business and you want to sell your product, and because he black and he has vote PNM, you're going to sell him 50 rights, call him membership, take it on the shelf later on.
Okay, thank you very much for calling in, and I just want to get into the message box just briefly. And one of messengers said, I don't know why they are knocking Kamala. All she asked for is a recount to which she's entitled. She will step down in time, so no one is able to replace her now. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to tell you about a little medical thing I just find out. You know, we had two viruses in Trinidad.
And they are?
Yeah, we have the Guyana virus, that election virus, and we had the real virus, and none have no vaccine. That's all I want to see.
Okay, then, thank you very much for calling. Well, someone on my WhatsApp would have suggested that we read a newspaper article today, so I'm just going to go into it briefly. And the headline is Kamala knocks Rowley over recount criticism, and it states the United National Congress leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar has condemned what she calls the reckless comments Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has made in relation to her party's call for recounts in 5 constituencies. PM Rowley is intent on continuing his dangerous trend of seeking to undermine our country's democratic ideals and cherish independent legal institutions which exist to provide equality, fairness, and justice for all citizens. I am therefore serving notice to him that this dictatorial habit of attempting to bully and intimidate citizens will not be tolerated by the UNC in any form, Persad-Bissessar said in a release yesterday. Hello, good afternoon and welcome.
Hello, good afternoon again. I want to read one of your callers there. We should not be boycotting all supermarkets. We go into a supermarket, and if we see that Ramsan product which was there before is no longer on the shelf, we should not buy. Now, if you go to Massey store in Chaguanas, or the 2 branches of Extra Food in Chaguanas, and the one on the East-West corridor, you will see that the majority of people who shop there are Indo-Trinidadians. And we have the power not to buy in those supermarkets. Don't put money into their bank account and let their meat and so on rotten on the shelves of the supermarket. And that will teach them a lesson. Now, the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago, I think the head is a fellow called Dipsy. You know he is telling people in the supermarkets to check to see if the owners of those supermarkets have removed it. Could you imagine that? Because I know this for a fact, because I have a friend of mine who owns a supermarket, the biggest supermarket in the Cunupia there. He was a friend of mine. We were together at Presentation College, and his wife was my next door neighbor in Dover Village, California, where I born and grew up. And I asked her, and she said, yes, they send people. I said, why you take it off? And she said, they send people here to check. You know? So I asked her, I said, is the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago sending customers by you to buy? If they're selling customers to you to buy, then they have a right to tell you to move it. But they're not doing that. So why are you following them blindly? Now, on social media today, there's a lady there which I support wholeheartedly and 100%. She sells roti in Tobago, and because she went on social media and supported it, they want to boycott her. I said, well, let them go hungry. They can't make roti like us. Let them go hungry. And the woman is quite right, you see? So we have the power in our purses and in our wallets to teach Massy Stores and Extra Foods and all these people there a lesson they would never forget. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Caller, let me see. Hello, good afternoon.
Ma'am, this evening I went in one of the quick shops on the East-West corridor. And I went to buy a phone card, but actually I buy the phone card before I went to look. I went especially to buy the phone card, and at the same time I went to look to see if there were any ramps on product. And there were none. And I make a decision there. I am not going back there not to buy any phone card or any other thing. I started my boycott from there. Thank you very much.
Okay, so at this time, we're taking the top of the hour, and we'll be right back after 5 p.m.
Let's talk Guyana. Join me, Uma Ratan Singh, as I bring you news, updates, information, culture, and traditions of Guyana. Let's talk Guyana, Mondays to Thursdays, just after the 10 a.m. news headlines on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Cunupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Cunupia.
Hi, my name is Nicole Dookie, and I am inviting you to join me alongside Kenrick Jaggernaut on U-Talk, Mondays to Fridays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. We will be bringing you all the information you need to know in the world of news and current affairs. You are also invited to add your voice, so call us live and let's get interactive.
Time has come. U97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
Welcome back to the show, listeners. And at this time, we have Mr. Roger Samuel, who was the former Member of Parliament for Arima on the telephone lines, and he's going to give us an update as to what happened in the Rima area with regards to the discovery of the polling cards in the Pinto Road area. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the program, Mr. Samuel.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, and welcome.
Hello, good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
I'm great, and how are you?
I'm very good to have me.
Okay, well, the reason why we called you this afternoon is because we are seeking some clarity as to what would have transpired in the Pinto Road area on Wednesday afternoon. Could you tell us exactly what would have happened? Hello? Hello? Okay, I think we lost him. I'll try him back and... Okay, and we are back on. Mr. Samuel, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Could you tell us what would have transpired on Wednesday evening?
Well, it was not Wednesday, actually. It was Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
What happened is I was on my way home,
Mm-hmm.
and my car phone rang. And but it would come up automatically as a voice. So somebody said to me, "Are you Roger?" I said, "Well, yes, how can I help you?" And just so they said, "Well, if you go Motley Trace, 2nd Avenue, you will see one set of poll cards in the bush." I said, "Where?" And the person went to tell me, give me an idea where. So, and then hung up the phone. I didn't know who it was. I still don't know who it was because no number came up.
Right.
And so I called a friend of mine who lived in Santa Rosa and who formerly lived in Pinto.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, what happened? And I said, can I pick you up? Because, this is what I was told.
Yes.
So we both went. I went across to the highway, went up to Santa Rosa, and picked him up. And we went to Motley Trace, looked in the area where the person described. We first didn't see anything. And then we went through a little track. And then he took the western side of the track. I took the eastern side and began looking through the bush where. And the bush seemed to have been cut a couple of months because it's now starting to go back up because of the rain.
Yes, and this was what time exactly?
That was just after 6,
Okay, so it was basically dark.
Well, it wasn't dark, but it was just after 6 because when I found it, the first thing I did, I stood there and I called the senior superintendent, Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, what I have just seen, because I realized I'm not going to interfere with it.
Right.
And then I took a photo of it. It began to rain.
Yes.
So I ran back to the vehicle. We ran back to the vehicle. We sat there. And then I subsequently called Mr. Simongal, who is a lawyer. I said, and asked him, what should I do? He's my friend. He says, well, make sure the police gets there.
Right.
So not too long after, a police vehicle came with 2 officers, and I showed them the area, and then they began speaking on their phones to their base,
mm-hmm.
and then they said to me, you got to move from here because this is now a crime scene and CSI is coming. So I moved away until, subsequent to that, another squad car came. That is from the Arima Municipal Police because they govern all of some of those areas because of the presiding officer. And then the CSI people came, they identified themselves and asked me to show them the area. Well, they went and do their stuff, take the photos, put the stuff in the bag,
mm-hmm.
and on the bags and stuff like that. And then we left and they asked me to come to the station to make an official report.
Okay.
So I went to the station, made an official report, and left it in the hands of the police.
Okay, great. My question to you, on election day, did you all receive any reports of persons who would have said that they did not receive their poll cards?
Plenty of people didn't receive poll cards. plenty people didn't receive poll. And it's not to say that they couldn't go to the polls without it. Huh?
Yes.
They could, but many complain that they could not. And there are people who complain that when they went without the poll card, their names was not on the list. Things of that nature. There are people that complain of that. Likewise.
But
I'm saying to you that the poll cards that I saw, there were a couple thousand poll cards in the bush. Huh?
Wow.
A couple thousand poll cards in the bush.
Do you think that those poll cards would have been belonged to persons in the Arima constituency, or?
I took a snap of one that was opened by because of the moisture and the rain.
Yes.
They sometimes pull open, and I took a shot of one, and it was from a person from Righteous Lane.
Pinto. Okay.
I still have it on my phone.
Okay.
I still have it on my phone. And I took a shot of it because I wanted to verify that there were valid poll cards and not old poll cards from 2019 December local elections. Yeah.
Okay.
But this seemed to have been thrown there a little while, a little bit now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what are your thoughts? Are you satisfied with the response that you would have gotten from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service with regards?
Yeah. I must speak well of. I think it's Inspector Ward. He was quite pleasant and thorough, and gave me a copy of the transcript of my statement to the station. They're quite good. I was in Pinto Station there.
Okay.
And I must talk them up. They're good and pleasant people there.
Okay.
Really good.
While I have you on the line, I just wanted to switch focus just for a moment. And given the fact that you were a former member of Parliament and you would have served as a minister in the office of the Prime Minister, correct me if I'm wrong,
Correct.
Right. What are your thoughts on the recount and everything the banter that has been going on with the political parties, the main political parties at this time?
Well, I think Trinidad and Tobago is in a dilemma. The nation is looking forward with bated breath and hoping that we get leadership and we get a governance that would lift us and lift all of us in Trinidad and Tobago. It is their political right to ask for a recount based upon the outcome of the election. That's constitutional. I pray that this will be done, and then the business of lifting up Trinidad and Tobago from where it has fallen tremendously is there. As I meet people every day from a religious standpoint, I mean, there's a lot of poverty and a lot of hunger taking place. And a lot of the amenities and grants are not reaching those types of people. And it's something that has to be looked into seriously. Now we have COVID on a higher level. It means that there's going to be a lot more problems. There's going to be a lot of problems. There are going to be problems. And how a nation deals with that will determine how it rises up or it falls even deeper. But it is their political right to ask for a recount based upon an outcome. And after the outcome, then we need to now understand that this country needs to be governed, and we need not to put more pressure on people. But I know there's going to be much more pressure on the working public, which has diminished, and then upon poor people, it's going to be a lot more pressure, taxations, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It is already tough, but I think it's going to get tougher.
Okay. I want to thank you very, very much for your time on this Friday afternoon, Mr. Samuel.
Anytime, my dear.
Okay, take care.
And blessings to you all.
You too. Okay, there you have it, Trinidad and Tobago. That was the voice of Roger Samuel, the former member of Parliament for Arima, and of course he would have been the one who would have gone to, who would have received the phone call that would have led him to Motley Trace, Pinto Road, Arima, where the poll cards were found. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nicole.
Hi.
Hello. All right. I had nothing to do with this. This is what I'm going to say. Have nothing to do with the election. Did I hear somebody say that somebody named Dipti is the head of the Supermarket Association.
He is the president of the Supermarkets Association of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. I want Mr. Deputy to hear this. Tell your members of your association that nasty onion and potato and them dead garlic, please do something about it. I could see from what they do, from the size, the potato, they bring in reject here, you know. They bring in last grade.
Okay, well, I actually try contacting Mr. Dipty to state his position as we speak. However, he is in a meeting. I'm hoping that I can probably get onto him before the show is.
And this thing all about, you know, I just go make my grocery by that big supermarket in Marabella. Man, I tell you, this morning I spent nearly 2 hours taking off the first layer of skin from my onion. It had dirt on the damn thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. And I am receiving some reports here. It's unconfirmed that staff at Price Smart Shoguanas being tested for COVID-19. They were taken to the Couva Hospital, and according to the reports that I'm receiving, 15 workers were being tested and 4 have tested positive thus far. So prior to the phone call, of course, we were discussing what would have transpired in the Arima area. Hello, good afternoon and welcome.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
I want to tell this country something. Or you wake up. Wake up, because I love Ramsayan peanut punch. Wake up. Smell the coffee. I love it and I will bite anywhere I see it. I'm supporting that company because of my own personal reasons. I don't want to share it because the more you share things, the more they tell you you're going against them. So I ain't going into that road. But I love it and I'm going to bite anyway. And who don't want to bite, I will stop shopping by them too.
Okay, thank you very much for that contribution. Of course, you're entitled to buy where you want to buy what you want to buy, support who you want to support. That's your freedom and that's your right as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. So again, we just spoke to Roger Samuel. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nicole.
Hi.
And yes.
Sharon is here as well.
Okay, good afternoon, Sharon. And I am supporting Mr. Ramsaran's product also.
Yes.
Nicole, since I am growing up, I know this product. Well, it is well put, you understand?
Yes.
I love the way they package everything. And it's the best so far. And you know something? Everybody is looking down on this businessman, right? Some of them is going against him. And you know, talk is cheap, yes. Okay,
yes.
We're not supposed to say certain things. But isn't the other side not supposed to say certain things too? So we are not people. We are not people with feelings. We are not human beings, right? And what it is Indian do so that these people hate us like that? You know, I can't understand that. I mean, come on, and they only race. Come on, it's time to get this thing behind you all. Everything, nobody can talk. So we don't have rights to talk. Every time we talk, is some problem. What it is going on in this country, Nicole? We have to be afraid of these people to speak. We have to be afraid to do anything. No, I am not going to be afraid. I born and grew in Trinidad. I'm a Trinidadian. And nobody is going to walk all over me. And Mr. Ramsaran, I am so hurt for you. I don't know you. I know your products. And being in business 70 years is not an easy thing that people are victimizing you because of talk, you know?
Yes.
Okay, so you all have a good program. I'm locked on and listening.
Okay, thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon again.
Hi.
You know, I am here with Ramsaran thing.
Yes.
You know, I had ads for that nasty stores. I send them back. I have no fight with the people. They have taken an action that I do agree with, and you're not going to get my money. I send the 3 cars back to them. And that is my action. I think what people have to take affirmative action. And next thing, Nicole, I'm hearing something about yellow and banana and a racist statement. Let me tell you something. Before the election in Tobago, Mrs. Bicesa's photograph was all over Scarborough. Yellow, 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 yellow. It was all about the rising sun and the Indian woman. So what they come with here now, let me get one thing straight with people in Trinidad and Tobago. We are not stupid people. Right now, this country is in trouble. We're in economic trouble, we're in financial trouble, we're in employment trouble, we're in social, every different kind of trouble under the sun. And right now, the politicians will do everything to pelt at us to divert our attention. And talking about COVID, I told my friends before the election, what we are hearing is the tip of the iceberg. It has to be looking nice for the election, but after the election, the truth of how many people really have the virus and how many people really died from the virus will come out at some point in time. And at that point in time, we should have some tribunal to hold people responsible who have been lying to the public and have them charged for negligence. This country has to change,
It does.
We can't continue the way we're going, Thank you much.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Well, we would have heard the former government minister, Roger Samuel, also saying that some dark days are ahead, So, hello, good afternoon.
I want to say something here. The Calcutta ship was not a problem. If you touch my dog and lick you, you know what? That was not a problem. When you degrade woman and do everything, it was not a problem. One little thing. They apologize. The boss of the Ramsan company came out and make an open page thing. And Marcy and them want to do that? Rotten chicken coming from months that's storing in America. Big junk of chicken when you go to buy in Tobago and in Trinidad, some places in Trinidad. You like the big chicken. Rotten and waste chicken where they don't want away. Who bring in that? Let the Manufacturer Association, the man in charge of that, investigate that. But remember, if you interfere with my dog, I'm going to do it. Thank you. I support Ramsaran.
Thank you very much. Well, of course, on the issue of Ramsaran and their products, the company would have distanced itself from the statements because it was not made on the Facebook page of the company, but of an employee, and it's her personal Facebook page. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi, I'd like to make a contribution.
Go ahead.
This sounds so orchestrated. It is so orchestrated that it's like something out of a playbook. The Prime Minister was very, very calculated, and the PNM is out to win an election. And they're going to win the next election and the next election by any means whatsoever. You cannot trust the Prime Minister when he travels abroad. You don't know if he's garnering support for his funding for his party. You don't know what he's doing because photos are always leaking out into the media. But I want to tell you something, He's trying to play an economic game with Dalian. You see, Marcy will punish for this. And I say that because you have to hit them where the belt is, where their pocket is. He thinks this is America or this is South Africa. He wants to vilify the Indians. Somebody else out there who wants to vilify us and make us feel like we are the Guptas of South Africa. We are the Indian people who come to Trinidad and we take over the country. We cheat in, we rob in the treasury, we cheat in the schools, we bring all we family from India and we come here and we run in all the businesses. We go to the top schools, all of the Indian people working for the best companies making the top salary. And the poor black man suffering. Let me tell you something. That is the game he's playing. And they always do that. That is called the Balaji House game. That game is to conquer and divide. Divide and conquer. Conquer and divide, divide and conquer. And they'll do it repeatedly. I came here and I am insulted when I heard people talk about black people and Indian people. They use the most derogatory term. I've seen two women fight and calling each other names. Worse than what you've read on Facebook. In the streets, on the streets. I've heard officers say remarks, make remarks. And nobody did nothing. And all of a sudden now, Marcy coming up now and saying, we have rights, we're going to enforce these rules. Marcy, when they have their ham sale every year, what does go on with Marcy? They like to see that in their stores. They like to see black people come and fight for ham because they cut the price. Listen, all you're playing this game, we don't want to play this game Because I'll tell all you something. I remember Mahatma Gandhi's writings, and it was very deep. And Mandela too. He suffered in prison. Did these people suffer so we could live like this, like dogs fighting on the streets? We have a lot of homeless dogs on the streets still. We have broken pavements. We don't have a plan for the school. And the Prime Minister's worried about Massy food, or they're worried about Massy and is vilifying a company that hires a lot of Indian people and Afro people too. I want to say something, eh? This is not the back of the bus, eh? They want you to sit in the back of the bus. And I'll tell you something, we're not going to sit in the back of the bus because this is not America. We have free rights and we have the Constitution to protect us. And I wish Anand Ramlogan could do some more civil rights cases with our own people instead of running to court and making it seem like a big fiasco with the constitutional laws of people with their rights to privacy, their right to employment, because he does a lot of constitutional law cases and civil rights cases. And we need to see more of that in this country because we cannot. People work too hard in this country to get it all pulled out of their feet like under the rug. And you know something? Everybody who was working with the PNM and they have all the things going, they're waiting for a job now. They're all going to get jobs and contracts, and you'll see they're going to make it so that the next election they have enough money to run another election. They're very cash rich, the PNM, because they own all the media station and the media houses. I'm going to leave my comment right there, and I'll take it over here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wow. Well, it's 5:22 in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Just a reminder, the Prime Minister is expected to address the nation tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome.
Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you again. What people in this country have to understand is that Caroni Limited closed down. Electrician closed down. We have very few local manufacturing companies in Trinidad and Tobago that brings in a certain amount of foreign exchange into the country. Now we know who owns biggest share, like the Carib Brewery and Angostura and all these things. We know that they goes to a certain group in the country. So we have Ramsaran, who have this manufacturing company. We have KC Confectionaries. We have a very minuscule amount of local manufacturers in Trinidad and Tobago. And for somebody, this Gupti idiot again, to come and make this statement and try to force this. Now I am sure there's a lot of Afro-Trinidadians working for Ramsaran companies and things. If they now decide, well, okay, fine, they feel discriminated against, their lives are being threatened, and they shut down their company now, who are going to take care of this? And I'm sure most of the African people who is working for Ramsaran, working there more than 5 or 10 years, and they have families, they have their children to send to school and all these kind of thing. And this idiot call and make this statement in the public domain to have these people pull their products from the shelves of supermarkets and things. I say, if the population have to stand by and don't allow this thing to ever happen again, we have to set a precedent in this country. Support, stand by our local people. They're bringing in KFC, they're bringing in Starbucks, they're bringing every foreign franchise that could possibly get their hands on into this country to take the money out. And when somebody have something local here, we're going to boycott it. That is total madness in this country. And if this population allowed this to happen today, it would be Ramsaran. Tomorrow it could be Doubles. Next week it could be Roti Shop. The next week it might be the Pon Soup Man. So this have to stop today. It have to stop immediately. And every citizen of this Trinidad and Tobago have to come out and support each other and boycott every establishment that pull this product from their shelves and show that although we might be divided in certain things, we are united when it comes to principle and supporting our local entity. Have a good afternoon, madam, and take care.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. At this time, we'll take a short break and we'll return after these messages.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
It's the talk of the town. It's Talk It Up on New 975 FM, Monday to Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. So join me, your host Mukesh Baburam, on a 3-hour journey guaranteed to take your stress away. Remember, Monday to Thursday, right here on New 975 FM.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
For quality items, visit Super Quality Supermarket of Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, as well as Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket, Cuba Car Park, for all your grocery items, liquor, fresh fruits, and vegetables, not forgetting their bed and bath section, and kitchen appliances for your home. With so many items to choose from, take advantage of our great prices and discounts at any of our 3 locations. Trin City Industrial Estate in Trin City, Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and Cuba. For quality items, Super Quality Supermarket and Quality Cash and Carry Supermarket.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Praise Him, praise Him.
And welcome back to the program. We just have about 30 minutes before the hour of 6 o'clock. Of course, from 6 o'clock, Kendall will be joining you, and he's going to add some fire to your Friday afternoon. So make sure you do not switch the station. Keep your dial right there, locked to U97.5 FM. And we're continuing, of course. The Met Office would have issued a weather report, latest update. Let me get that latest update to share with you, because rain has already started in South Trinidad. So you all need to be very, very mindful of that. Areas that are prone to flooding, persons who live in areas that are prone to flooding, I am advising you to make sure that you prepare yourself in the event of, widespread flooding. And so the Met Office is saying that we will expect a fair night despite 1 or 2 brief showers. Of course, This is for the period today, well, this evening until tonight. Tomorrow, predominantly sunny conditions will be interrupted by a few scattered showers. Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi.
Yes, somebody interested in buying, I believe it's Marcy, they're interested in buying out Ramsar, and that's the reason why they're going through the stress. And another thing, remember at one point in time, there was asking KFC to join up with the double steeper and sell double stone.
Mm-hmm.
So something in the making. This is the way I see it. I on the ground. This is the way I see it. I just be wrong. So they want to buy over Ramsar. So they're giving some trouble to boycott them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And this just in, a media release from the Supermarkets Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and it's entitled Boycott Lifted on Ramsaran Products. And of course, it says that on August 12, 2020, the Supermarkets Association of Trinidad and Tobago responded to overwhelming consumer feedback regarding the insensitive comments published on social media by a relative of Ramsaran Dairy Products. The decision to remove the products at that time from our shelves was a principled stand, as the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago continues to make every effort to align with partners who share our core values. In similar spirit, we actively support local business and those entrepreneurs who participate in the local economy as we do. The Supermarket Association has consistently demonstrated profound respect for the various ethnic, religions, and multicultural segments of our society. We acknowledge the opinions expressed on social media and highlighted in the press, and where the views expressed by an irresponsible employee and family member who does not in fact accurately represent the views of Ramsaran Dairy Product. We take note that the company also issued a full statement on the same employee's opinions, as policy is also acknowledged and taken subsequent redress to have the matter amended. This included the dismissal of the employee in question, as well as a full apology communicated via national press media. This matter has sparked impetus for national conversations on a number of platforms in light of the actions taken by Ramsaran Dairy Product to redress the unfortunate situation. We are satisfied at this time to lift the boycott on Ramsaran Dairy Products. We take the opportunity to remind customers that the power of choice ultimately lies with the customer's decision to lend their patronage to the products. Whether or not they choose to patronize the products lies within their grasp, and this is a choice that remains effectively their own. We urge citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to move away from decisive diatribe that has the crippling potential to polarize our nation. Notwithstanding the current challenges, which will affect us all at this time, we remain committed to doing our part to stand alongside every citizen in the healing process and against all forms of discrimination in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, this was signed by the president of the Supermarkets Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Rajiv Dipti. And also in some breaking news again, the number of COVID-19 cases has risen to 12 in Tobago. And we're seeing here the Division of Health and Wellness and Family Development is reporting an additional 2 new cases of COVID-19 on this sister isle. In a release on Friday, August 14, the division said 1 new case is a primary contact of a positive case, while the other is waiting epidemiological investigation. So, guys, it's the weekend, and we know that many of you would like to go out. And spend time at your favorite Lyman spots, with family, doing, whatever activities. And we just want to urge you to be very, very, very mindful that we are still in a pandemic, and you can exercise caution, take all the necessary precautions that are needed, practice your social distances, please wear your mask, sanitize when necessary. And if you could avoid crowds, then avoid crowds. If you know you're feeling unwell, please stay away, isolate yourself, get tested, because COVID-19 is here, it's real, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. As you would have heard today, 1 person would have died as a result of COVID-19. Let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nicole.
Hi.
Good afternoon. That was a long statement sent by the president of the
Supermarkets Association.
Yes, but that thing like a book on a page.
And I was reading off my phone, so it was a bit difficult, but that's
Well,
okay.
well,
Once
here
the
now,
message
here now.
was brought across.
I want to hear what you have to say about that dirty onion and garlic, a potato.
I will try to
If
get
there
it.
was any way we could have hit them and boycott and a couple of them supermarkets. But what I found out is a couple of these small supermarket owners, they get together and they're buying these reject produce from the states. And you know what they had again? They have commercial insurance on it when it come in. So if it show a little bit of fungus and all kind of thing, they go into the insurance company and tell them, look, this thing's spoiled, and they get paid for it. They get the full value for it, and they turn around and sell it. So we did need to get some pressure in it behind. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. And of course, keeping on the whole issue with that would have come out of the issue involving Ramsaran products, and even the statements that were made on social media, the racist statements, where we see the Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, is warning people against making racist statements on social media, and he clarified what or who he referred to as cockroaches, and he said that he referred to criminals as cockroaches, and when he did that, he was in no way signaling any person, any particular race, class, or creed of people. And he also said if people want to target an enemy, that enemy should be criminal elements who harm innocent, law-abiding people of Trinidad and Tobago. So you would have heard a short while ago the response from the Supermarkets Association. They lifted the boycott on Ramsaran dairy products. That release was just sent to me by the president himself of the Supermarkets Association, Mr. Rajiv Dipti. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. You see, when people put pressure on business groups, you see how it has bent the pressure, ma'am? That is what we have to do in this country. People cannot do what they want and feel that they are right. So we have the pressure to take a stand to fight anything like that. Thank you and have a good evening.
Okay, thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
I'd like to say something.
Uh-huh.
Just like that, poof, and everything going to tomorrow. Do you think this is how we should be? And Gary Griffith comes in and says, oh, I know what a cockroach is, and it defines it. You see the game them playing with we? I want to tell all you something. This game has to stop. Because we know there's corruption in this country. You just have to look at the roads, you have to look at the guys driving them trucks that stop and fix the lights, and nobody have an ID on them, or if they have an ID, it could be fake. We don't know what they're doing. We don't even know. There's no privacy on the phone, because we have no right to privacy in this country. The internet isn't private. How many times in messages, you send messages and all of a sudden it's showing up in the newspaper? Prime Minister got leaked. His messages were leaked out too. And what did the Minister of the Chamber said about the Prime Minister? This is ridiculous. We can't operate a dysfunction. They want you to be happy one day and sad one day, happy one day and crazy the next day. And you have the power. I have to tell you something. I'm still going to stick with my plan. And I'm going to shop very carefully now. And I'm not going to buy a lot of imported stuff. I'm going to support my local farmers. And if it comes from CARICOM, I'll support that. I don't want to send... I'm sick of having plastic, hundreds of plastic bottles. Those things, water in plastic bottles, have particles in it that's cancerous. You know, that Ramsaran milk is probably healthier than some of the crap we have here in bottles, all these energy drinks. They're killing us. And they want to punish us at the same time. We are good consumers, you know. And that whole Manufacturers Association, well, they cater to the rich 1% who made their money off the backs of the slaves. And then you've got the restaurant, the association, the supermarket, which is like they don't even know about quality control. Look at this. Do you know what happened if that man had lost his business? The Prime Minister's back for job loss. That man would have lost thousands of workers. factories would have had to close down and people would be on the bread line. Well, we don't have bread lines here, but they would be on the street begging. And then they wouldn't get social support. They wouldn't get any money because we have no money. Because the word is that the government borrowed $600 million again from the HSF fund, which is like $4 billion in TT dollars. Because they have no money. They have no U.S. We are in some very bleak times, and all we're getting is little snippets. Let me hear what game the Prime Minister going to play again tomorrow in the press conference. He's acting like a leader. He's acting like a gamer. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon again.
Hi.
You know, the problem in this country is not Dr. Audi. It's not the PNM. It's not the government. The problem in this country is the opposition. You look at this Bissessa fighting a battle. You see what is happening with poll cards. And people not getting together and say, okay, look, let's see what's taking place here. No, you're putting shit down. You want to get rid of that at all costs. I know something. There are people outside of the UNC. Those regrets. Oh, what wrong word? Not regrets. Rejects. All those rejects, the people that rejected them, they come in now to come through the back door, form other parties, to come now to give her a hard time. And this is why this, forgive me for the word, this Indian politics is always in trouble. Because there's always plenty chief and not enough Indians. All the time, mash up. We don't want that. We want this way, we want that way. And I am saying, I hope Mrs. Bissessa is hearing me. Madam, stand strong. And I pray to God that come next year, with the election, you go up and you win, and let people know UNC is a party. You join it, you come here, we work together to go forward, and you come and don't pick up side to come for election and say you want to get a ministry. So you got to get together to BDP, and that is stop. The next thing is, we're hearing people talking about all this race in this country. Let me tell you something. This is the fuel that the government wants. The government wants this race fuel because that put a diversion to what is really taking place. And I am saying to this, read my lips. The IMF right outside the door there. They're just going to step in, and let me tell you people something. If you think you know what hardship was in the past, think again. Thank you much.
Thank you very much for that. Well, my concern really is why would we sit and argue about race and politics when we have more pressing issues? We just had another death as a result of COVID-19, yet still persons are not adhering to the public health guidelines, and they're doing what they want as they well please. And every day we're seeing the number of cases of COVID-19 increasing in this country, and yet still people are not paying attention. Hello, good afternoon and welcome.
Hello, good afternoon again. You see, this is the double standard we just have to accept in this country. Now, Gary Griffith could make a statement referring to cockroaches, and that isn't interpreted as racist. When the young lady make the statement and say cockroaches and who vote for PNM, that is interpreted as racist against the African people. And this, if we don't wake up and understand what really is happening in this country, we would always be faced with this kind of interpretation against
and it leaves the question, who was the people who interpreted to be what it escalated into?
And that's why I mentioned all these things started from when the Prime Minister started to interpret the little skits that was shown on TV, and he made that into a racist statement. The banana, yellow banana, he said that he know that when the African people eating yellow banana, they are referring to them as monkeys. He said that, and we just allowed this thing to take place. So why didn't the association, the supermarket association, didn't announce immediately now that here what, we have to pull all yellow bananas from the supermarket shelves and boycott yellow bananas, because that is a representation of racism through the eyes of the Prime Minister. But they didn't do that. They did it specifically for Ramsar, and we're so illiterate and ignorant in this country that we don't see through these things. I know these people incurred losses, and I hope now that this idiot gypsy fella went and withdraw the ban now, that they still sue this organization and him for this, because he reacted irresponsible, he reacted with emotions, he reacted with hostility, and did not take time to really, as a leader, as a head of an organization, to investigate a matter properly before calling on that boycott. And now we realize he do nonsense, come and he pull it back because he realized it backfiring on him. So I hope the people get their lawyers and file whatever lawsuit they have to do and to recover whatever losses they incurred during this situation. And if he have to resign, let him resign. Have a good afternoon. Enjoy your rest of your
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, good day.
Let me just the only way to fight the virus is the people have to fight it. No Ministry of Health, no government, no national security, nobody can fight that. We the people, social distance, washing our hands, wearing the mask, get rid of it ourselves. We can't be caught in the virus. We can't be carrying the virus and spreading it and expect it to go away. We have to fight it. And one more thing, please. I remember somebody talk about somewhere where some monkey put some nuts. Yeah, you remember that? So what are you racing about? I don't know why all this talk about race, you know. If somebody want to call me a C, a N, call me what I want. That don't make a difference to who I really am. I don't feel threatened when you call me by some other name. Because I remember that little boy, my neighbor used to say a rose by any name will always smell like a rose. What do you want? A rose is a rose. So go ahead, call me anything you want to call me. And this race thing, that has to do with the way the country is now. We'll find everything to divert attention. But Mrs. Bisesa, stand strong, lady. Thank you much.
Okay, thank you very much for that call. Thank you very much to all the callers who would have called and contributed on today's program. Of course, it's that time where we have to say our goodbyes to the listening public on Politics 2020. Before we go, I just want to remind you that the Prime Minister will be hosting a press conference tomorrow at 2:30 from the Diplomatic Center. And remember, guys, when you go out there, COVID-19 is still upon us. We're still in a pandemic, so please adhere to the public health guidelines. Numbers are continuing to increase on a daily basis, and we need to curb that as soon as possible. We just had our 9th death as a result of COVID-19. So whatever you do, wherever you go, please exercise caution over this weekend. My name is Nicole Dookie. Up next, Kendall Jagannath will be taking over the hot seat, and he's going to add some fire to your Friday afternoon. So stay tuned for that. At 6 o'clock, Sharon will be doing the 6 p.m. news, and of course Kenril will come after. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you to Shiva Parashram for streaming our YouTube stream. Thank you to Sharon, my operator, for today. And you do have yourselves a wonderful but safe weekend. My name is Nicole Dookie. Enjoy.
Islands in the sun.